You've heard about SARS, AIDS, and bird flu. Now researchers from Australia claim we're about to be hit by a new epidemic, motivational deficiency disorder. According to the British Medical Journal, 1 in 5 people are said to suffer from motivational deficiency disorder or MOD, and most don't even know they have it. Symptoms include being unable to get out of bed in the morning, being trapped on the couch, or wanting to spend the entire day at the beach.
The U.S. Treasury Department has imposed sanctions on a number of people and entities with connections to Syria's chemical weapons. The sanctions target 5 groups and 8 individuals. The Treasury says they are key components in a network that gets electronics for the agency developing Syria's chemical weapons. The move was in coordination with the French government, which asset renewed freezes on a number of groups and people from the same network. Syria has allegedly used chemical weapons at least 34 times since 2013, but some estimates put that number as high as 85.
There is little doubt that genetically modified crops have the potential to offer great benefits to the world, yet they continue to be opposed by many people, even though any risks attached to their use have not been clearly established. The reasons seem to be a deep distrust of the motives of large agricultural companies, along with a generalized feeling that it's always dangerous to, as some would put it, play around with nature.
For one thing, its ancestors changed the earth in ways that made it possible for us to evolve, and hidden in its genetic code is a blueprint that may inspire ways to reduce our dependency on fossil fuel. But the most amazing thing is that there are 3 billion of these tiny cells on the planet, and we didn't know they existed until 35 years ago. So, to tell you their story, I need to first take you way back, 4 billion years ago, when the Earth might have looked something like this. There was no life on the planet, there was no oxygen in the atmosphere. So, what happened to change that planet into the one we enjoy today, teeming with life, teeming with plants and animals?
Social harm originates out of a series of debates within criminology about the narrowness of the definition of crime, which essentially focuses on individual acts of harm, things like interpersonal violence, theft, so on and so forth. So, the idea of social harm originally was to expand that notion of harm to encompass the harms that organizations cause that nation-states cause. But latterly the idea of social harm really now transcends criminology, so there are a group of writers who think that, and I would include myself there, that actually there's something to social harm that could be very useful in terms of trying to understand the harms that occur within society, to produce an objective and well-rounded analysis of harm.
When you look at a lake, you are looking at a collection of molecules that have been there on average for about a decade. In the ocean, the residence time is thought to be more like 100 years. Altogether, about 60% of water molecules in rainfall are returned to the atmosphere within a day or two. Once evaporated, they spend no more than a week or so, Drury says 12 days, in the sky before falling again as rain. Evaporation is a swift process, as you can easily gauge by the fate of a puddle on a summer's day. Even something as large as the Mediterranean would dry out in 1,000 years if it were not continually replenished.